So Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk has been rescheduled for May the 18th. Which I'm happy about because it's a lot sooner than I actually thought, because normally by the time they negotiate a new date and come to some sort of agreement, I was thinking that it would more than likely be about the summertime, or worse still, the fight just wouldn't happen. Turki Al-Sheikh is the most powerful man in boxing right now. Whatever fights he wants, he can make happen.
We want to see Fury-Usyk and the result and the rematch between Fury-Usyk. After that, we want to see Tyson Fury against Ngannou. All the people want to see it. If Fury win, we want to see him against Joshua if Joshua win.
He is single-handedly running the game. Those paychecks that he's providing are just too tasty for the fighters to refuse. And another incentive that he's provided, this time, if anybody pulls out, they get compensated with £10 million. I mean, that's what you call first-class compensation. We've also now seen Tyson Fury's stitches, because there was a lot of skeptics out there who didn't believe the story, didn't believe that he really got cut in sparring. And I know the footage wasn't too clear. He wasn't facing the camera, and you couldn't exactly see the punch land. And you know, he walked towards the camera, but he didn't lift his head guard off and show everybody the cut. You couldn't see any blood, so it did leave people with questions. There's an interview with Tyson Fury, Turki Al-Sheikh, and Alexander Usyk and his manager, and Turki Al-Sheikh rubbishes the claims. He's seen the cut and seen the evidence, so you've got to take his word.
If it's something doesn't guarantee 100%, if I am not sure it is accident and it is huge cut, I will not be here in this meeting.
In the interview, it's a FaceTime between the two sides, and there's been a bit of back and forth between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk's manager. So basically, Tyson Fury's shouting down the camera, so it's quite funny. It's worth a watch.
And if any man calls my wife a bitch, I'll take his fucking teeth out. Do you
I didn't call your wife a bitch. It happens. It happens.
I think the cut that Tyson Fury's got is the same one that happened in the fight against Otto Wallen. It was a really deep, nasty cut, and that fight could have easily been stopped. And it was in a terrible position because it was right above the eye, and when it bleeds, the blood runs directly into the eye. I really think this cut's going to be a huge problem, because Alexander Usyk's twice the fighter as Otto Wallen. He's going to be looking to aim for this cut to try to reopen it. So any opportunity when they're in close, he's going to try to rub against the cut, use his head. He's probably going to be the one using dirty tactics, contradictory to what I said in my previous video, that Tyson Fury is going to be using dirty tactics. Because if that cut does reopen, it's in such a vulnerable position, the referee probably will stop the fight. It's an easy route to victory for Usyk, contradicting what I said in my previous video, that it'll be Tyson Fury using dirty tactics, getting close and leaning on Usyk to try to wear him out. I now think it's going to be the other way around, because the landscape's changed. It's Usyk that needs to get close to Tyson Fury to try to reopen this cut, where Tyson Fury now needs to try to keep it long. His tactics are going to have to completely change. And the thing is with Usyk, he's extremely accurate and he throws a lot of punches, so the chance of that cut reopening, it's a pretty high percentage. And in fairness, I'd seen a photo of Tyson Fury and he was looking in great shape, and I can't remember Tyson Fury looking that good, so that tells me he really was taking the fight seriously. And maybe that fight against Ngannou was an eye-opener, and he probably realised that he really needed to up his game. Despite him being in great shape, moving forward to this new fight date and essentially having longer to prepare to get in even better shape, this cut is going to heavily affect his preparation, because it's going to affect his sparring. You know, he's going to be hitting pads and bags, but that's not enough. He needs high quality sparring, because realistically, that cut is going to take at least 2 months. And even then, will it be fully healed? I don't know. So essentially, all his training is going to be geared around the cut. He's not going to be able to fully focus on just getting prepared for Usyk, because your skin has multiple levels, and on the surface, it will be healed, but deep down, I'm not so sure. So there's a good chance the cut will reopen. Fury's tactics now have got to be different. His game plan, if it was to get close and rough him up, like I'd previously said, we now know them tactics won't really work, because then there's a chance that the cut could reopen. He needs to try to keep it long. But if he does decide to stay close and try to rough Usyk up, you know, he's got to tire him out quickly while trying to protect that cut. The problem is Usyk's extremely intelligent and hard to pin down, so I don't know if that's going to be possible. Realistically though, his best plan would be to keep it long. You can still let them pass power shots go, but he needs to do it at arm's length. Box Usyk the same way he fought Klitschko. Up on his toes, really busy with the jab, loads of feinting, and then shooting in with clusters, and then getting back on the jab. That's what he needs to do. The problem he's got, I don't think he can employ those tactics with a smaller, faster man, and arguably a better boxer. Because I do think Fury's best chances were to try to rough Usyk up, but to try to outbox him, I just don't think he's capable of doing it. But let's just hope the fight does happen and we'll get to see who is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Tyson Fury's dad, John Fury, also recently called out Froch, saying for the two of them to fight at Wembley Stadium. And he's labelled it Hater versus Top Father, which I just find hilarious.
Okay, video to Carl the Snake Froch. Hater versus Top Father. And I will fight you Wembley Stadium. John Fury will not back out of a fight with you, my friend.
It's all stemmed from supposedly Froch criticising Tyson Fury. Chances are Froch has been asked a question about Tyson Fury and he's given a straight answer because he's the type, he doesn't beat around the bush, he just says it the way it is. Because I know Froch, I was lucky enough to spend time with him when I was on GB because his coach was Rob McCracken and Rob was also the head coach at GB. And I also sparred with Froch, and I can remember the first time like it was yesterday because I can remember the nerves and thinking, oh shit, I'm in trouble here. But it was great experience because he was a world champion, so to be able to share the ring with him, it was invaluable experience, and I took a lot of confidence from those spars. And let's get it straight for the record, Froch was a world champion and he held multiple belts and he fought everybody. He fought the best of his era. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best and most exciting and definitely toughest fighters to come out of Britain. So he's more than entitled to his opinion. John Fury says he'll fight Froch, no problem. In fact, he'll fight any man on the planet. But there's a catch. It's got to make business sense. John Fury's 49 years of age. Froch is 46. Come on, we don't need to see that fight. He'd end up getting seriously hurt. I love John Fury. I think he's great, a proper old school bloke, and I think he's hilarious. And I've enjoyed watching him, but at his age, he doesn't need to be fighting. And it's great Froch doing YouTube. He's really funny, got a really dry sense of humour, and he's a wealth of knowledge. Fabio Wardley versus Fraser Clark's also been announced, which I'm excited about. There's been some bad blood because Fraser Clark pulled out last time they were supposed to fight, but I think it was his team who pulled him out because he was a little bit inexperienced as a pro, so it was a little bit early. The fight's been scheduled for the 31st of March. Fabio Wardley's done great because he had no amateur background. He came from white collar boxing. He's a really good mover and got good athletic ability, and he's got good power. He's got loads of natural ability. Fraser Clark's the main reason I'm excited about the fight because I was on GB with Fraser. He's one of my closest friends on the squad, and we've travelled all over the world together, and he's a funny guy and just a huge character and just an all-round great guy, and I've got some great memories with him, so yeah, I'm supporting him. And he's also an Olympic bronze medalist, very experienced as an amateur. I think he went through 3 Olympic cycles. He's a very good rounded fighter. He's just unproven as a pro, so I'm really looking forward to this fight, an all-British heavyweight dust-up. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you've enjoyed this video, go and watch this video next.